Okay, so I got a question for you guys. As far as like rankings go, like the S tier, A tier, B, C, D, etc., where would you guys rank Henry Cavill? Because for me personally, I probably have him in like the B to B minus tier of actor, only because in a majority of his projects, he shows that he has an immense amount of talent. Truly, I think there's a lot of talent there. He has a lot of potential. It's just, as far as I felt like the attempts have gone to get him to become a bigger name and a bigger household name and a bigger movie star, nothing has ever personally just stuck. Like, of course, you had, his portrayal as Superman, but he couldn't even get a sequel for Man of Steel. And then on top of that, DC just had so much chaos going on. I feel like he was never truly able to truly show his potential as to what his Superman could have been. Then his best project by far is Mission Impossible 6. I don't care what anybody says. That is his best movie by far. That is where I literally told myself, okay, Henry Cavill in the right hands of a director and producer and Tom Cruise can do something absolutely incredible. But then he has stuff like Argyle, which a lot of people hated. I personally didn't mind the movie, but I mean, it wasn't really well received. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is another movie that isn't well received. I actually really liked The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I thought it was a pretty good movie. You got Justice League, which no one likes to talk about, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League as well, which again, I don't like to talk about. People like to think that movie is so much better, but no, it's just a lot longer. It's not any improvement whatsoever. But we're just going to leave that alone. But where would you guys rank Henry Cavill in the tiers of acting? Because I just feel like as far as trying to make him a big name, nothing has ever stuck. Like, it's just been a lot of attempts, but nothing has ever just stuck the landing for Henry Cavill. But regardless, we have another attempt, and it's a pretty decent one if I'm being honest. And it is called Guy Ritchie's Inglourious Bastards. No, it's not. It's not called that. I'm so sorry. It is the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Yes. That is a very long title, but yes, that is the name of the title. I mean, I'm sorry, the name of the movie. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Let's get to the review. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, this is my review of the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, starring Henry. That is such a long title. Starring Henry Cavill, Alan Ritchson, Isa Gonzalez, Henry Golding, and it was directed by Guy Ritchie himself. And our story follows a group of criminals who are basically recruited to go on a top secret mission to basically find this Nazi base where they have these U-boats, and they basically have this big, huge U-boat that they basically need to extract from them and get out of Nazi hands. That is as simple as the plot needs to be. It's really not that complicated. These guys are recruited for a special mission where they're killing Nazis, having fun. But there was a movie that had a lot more fun with that concept. But I mean, I'm not going to try to play the comparison game here, but I can't necessarily not, because people are already joking that this movie is Guy Ritchie's Inglourious Bastards anyway, and we can all tell by the movie itself, this is Inglourious Bastards. It's based on a true story, though, so this actually happened. But, look, regardless, what I liked about the film, we're just going to get right into it. What I liked about the film are the characters themselves. I absolutely adore all of Guy Ritchie's crazy, wacky, wonky, just very interesting and intriguing characters for various different reasons. I mean, he always finds a way to make these crazy characters very interesting people that you want to watch on screen, people that you want to end up having a very good time with, because these characters are just so much fun. Guy Ritchie does a very good job at creating very intriguing characters that you can just be entertained by the entire time, and that's what this is. This movie has all the characters: Henry Cavill, Alan Ritchson, Henry Golding. His name is Hero Finis Tiffin, the guy from the After movies, which I only saw the first one. I did not realize they made an entire saga for that franchise, but okay. He's in it. Isa Gonzalez, everyone in this movie, even Alex, I always get his last name messed up, Pettifier, I'm sorry, that's Pettifer, the guy from I Am Number 4, he's in this movie as well, and like I said, Guy Ritchie has just made once again been able to make nothing but fun characters. The biggest standout for me was Alan Ritchson. Alan Ritchson was having the time of his life on this movie set. You can tell by the accents he was playing with. He got to play with Nazi hearts. He got to just fuck shit up. He got to be a big, ripped, straight, merciless Nazi killer, and he had the most fun with it in the world. He was such a big, innocent guy in some scenes and a ruthless motherfucker in others. Alan Ritchson stole the entire show from me. I had so much fun watching him. Henry Cavill is another guy that was having the time of his life on this film, and you can absolutely tell, and it's absolutely fun. It's so much fun watching these guys have fun on screen as these characters, because that's what this is. This is just strict entertainment for those purposes. Like I said, everybody else as well. Isa Gonzalez, Henry Golding, the guy from the After movies, Alex Pettif. I don't want to keep saying pedophile because that doesn't sound right. I don't know whose last name would be pedophile. If that is his last name, then I apologize. Not because that's your last name, but just, dude, that's a fucked up last name. But that's probably not how you pronounce his last name regardless. But like I said, all of these characters are just so much fun. But truthfully, if you guys have seen the Gentleman series on Netflix, not necessarily the movie, one thing that I am starting to kind of catch on to about some of Guy Ritchie's films, and I think this kind of started in King Arthur, he'll make very interesting characters themselves where you are intrigued by what they're doing, you're very entertained by who they are and their comedic chops, their comedic relief sometimes, and just how their characters go about themselves throughout the movie. You're entertained by the characters themselves. But at some point in time, the characters are just not enough to keep the plot interesting itself. And that's where this movie, for me, kind of started to drag. Like I said, if you've ever seen the Gentleman series on Netflix, that is a prime example of what I'm talking about. You can kind of see hints of it in King Arthur and some other films of his, but the Gentleman series, the first 3 or 4 episodes are very interesting. The characters are great. You're absolutely loving what's going on, but then the last half of that show kind of starts to drag because it's just like the plot is not really strong enough to keep you fully intrigued into what is going on. And for me, the plot made this movie drag a lot, and I just couldn't help but notice all the parallels to Inglourious Basterds with some of the characters. They even have a scene where it's not specifically somebody doing the German 3 and the actual American 3 to reveal themselves, but there is a scene where basically a character does reveal themselves in a way that Inglourious Basterds did, and even the villain, although he's very good, and let me make sure I get it, Till Schweiger, he played Heinrich Lohr, a very merciless, ruthless general, Nazi general. He did great in the role, did fantastic, but and it's like I said, I don't necessarily like to play the comparison game all the time, but I mean, it's just I can't help it because these are completely damn near the same movie. Hans Landa did it better, of course. It's no competition whatsoever, but this guy did a very good job in the movie, and maybe it was me playing the comparison game that kind of took my joy and fun out of this movie a little bit, because clearly there were people in my theater having much more fun than I was. People were dying laughing at some stuff, and there was funny moments in the movie. Not all the comedic. For me, a lot of the comedic relief moments and the jokes were kind of hit and miss. But for other people in the theater, they were dying at everything that was being said, everything that was being done. They were having a blast, and I was glad that somebody was, because for me, some parts of that movie were absolutely slow as hell. The main parts have to deal with Isa Gonzalez and I believe Babs. I do not know how to pronounce his last name, so I'm just going to put it here in front of me. He played the character Mr. Heron. That whole storyline with Isa Gonzalez and his character, I felt really just stalled the movie a bit. And Isa Gonzalez's main role in the film is to kind of seduce and keep occupied the Nazi general. The head Nazi general, kind of keep him occupied and befriend him a little bit and infiltrate, whatever the hell's going on. But it's when we kept skipping back to those parts of the movie, I personally just felt like I'd rather be back with Henry Cavill and his crew. I'm having more fun with them. Every time we switch back to Isa Gonzalez and this other guy, they're a very interesting duo, but it's not as much interesting as what the hell Henry Cavill and them are doing at all. It's just not. And honestly, for me, as much as Isa Gonzalez absolutely killed her role, she did a very good job. And there is one scene in particular where she has to wear this dress that she's like Cleopatra, and oh my god, I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure every guy, I'm honestly every guy, girl, and whoever else was in the theater, everyone's jaw just dropped because Isaac Gonzalez is absolutely gorgeous. That scene itself deserved a standing ovation. You know, when they talk about movies that are shown at film festivals, they get like 5-10 minute standing ovations. We could have paused the movie right there when she showed up in that dress, and we could have just clapped for 5 to 10 minutes. I would have clapped for 10 for sure. But for me, I felt like I wanted Isaac Gonzalez's character to do more action-wise. I felt like she didn't really have enough to do in that sense. She was more so, like, you knew she had a special set of skills. You knew she was very good at guns and fighting and killing and stuff like that. She's a soldier. But she just never really, in my opinion, got the time to show that off, to truly, like, kick some real ass for a little bit. I mean, she does a great job, like I said, but I just felt like she could have did a lot more, and her part of the movie is a lot, I'll say a lot more boring. Because, I mean, like I said, you're truly having a great time with Henry Cavill and his crew. His crew is a wacky assortment of guys. But it is one that you would definitely want to go to war with any day of the week. They are a great group of guys, and I was having so much fun with them. And when we were flipping back and forth, anytime we got back to Isaac Gonzalez's part of this movie, I just felt like it dragged. And the plot truly just could not keep me all the way intrigued in what the hell was going on. And so for that's why I felt like the movie dragged a bit. But overall, look, I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun with this movie. This is a fun movie. This is a truly fun movie, this is a movie you're truly supposed to have just complete and utter fun with. This is not supposed to be taken that seriously. It's crazy that this is actually based off of a true story. I wonder if these guys were actually as ruthless as they were in the movie itself. But look, regardless, this is a fun movie. This is a decent Guy Ritchie entry. Like I said, for me personally, the plot just wasn't strong enough, and the back and forth, I was kind of just more intrigued with Henry Cavill's part of the movie rather than Isaac Gonzalez's. But either way, like I said, it's a fun time at the movies. It is a good, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my words together. It's very late. I'm so sorry. But it's a good time. It is a fun film. That's all you really need from Guy Ritchie. He knows how to make those. I wish it was as strong as like The Gentleman and Wrath of Man, because I absolutely love those movies. I really, really like those movies. I had high hopes for this movie, and they kind of let me down just a little bit just because, like I said, the movie dragged. And when it dragged, for me, it dragged. It was a very slow dragging across the floor type thing. Like when your mom tells you to go upstairs and do something, but you're really just trying to hesitate and just go as slow as humanly possible. Yeah, it dragged like that. But look, overall, it is a fun time at the movies, and I know I keep saying that. I'm going to wrap this up. And basically, look, for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare a 3 out of 5 stars. All right, so The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Look, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more. I really do appreciate you guys so much. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.